Hey guys, I'm going to review area for you today. And remember, area, if I have a shape here, area is the space that it takes up inside. So if I were to find the area of this rectangle, I want to be finding this space in here. When you were in first grade, what you would do in second grade is you would take something like Unifix cubes and you would find out how many Unifix cubes fit inside this rectangle. Now in third grade, we use a formula for area. So let's say this was 2 Unifix cubes long and 7 Unifix cubes wide if we were using our Unifix cubes. So really what that is that is the same as 2 rows and 7 columns. So if I count that all up, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which would have been 14 would be the area. Okay, now an easier, quicker way to do that, especially with all the counting and we get into bigger numbers, is multiplication. We do the number of rows times the number of columns. So length times width. So 2 times 7. I can count by 2s, or I can use my 7 song. 7, 14. So I know that 2 times 7 is 14. And you'll see I got the same answer. Now you might be like, Miss Sharp, what if the numbers are bigger? We didn't get into really high multiplication. Well, I'm going to show you a trick with how to do multiplication with larger numbers. Say we have this rectangle here, more like a square, but that's okay. And our sides here, this one is 32, okay? And our width here is, say, really close to that. We'll say 31, okay? So just a little bit shorter. Now, the same formula applies. I'm not going to sit here and try to draw 32 rows and 31 columns, but rows times columns still works. So 32 times 31. Now this is where my knowledge of tens and ones and base 10 and standard form versus expanded form really comes into play. I know that 32 is 30 plus 2. And I know that 31 is 30 plus 1. So now I'm going to make a big square. Okay? And I've got 4 numbers, 2 down. So if this was 32, okay, so we've got 30 and 2, right? Let me put that up here. So 30 plus 2, right? And 30 plus 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 2 numbers at a time. And so for this first box here, this is going to be these 2 numbers. So this row and this column. So 30 times 30. This one, I'm going to do this row times this column. 30 times 1. Down here, 2 times 30. And where these 2 meet, 2 times 1, this row and this column. Now I'm going to start with the easy ones first, okay? Well, 2 times 1, anything times 1, I know is that same number, so that's going to be 2. 30 times 1, anything times 1 is going to be that number, so it's going to be 30. Now here's where we get into the bigger numbers, and this is where some of our tricks come into play that we didn't get a whole lot of time to practice, and you'll get into more next year in 4th grade, so you're getting a head start here. 30 times 30. What I'm going to do is I'm going to forget about the zeros for a moment, and I'm going to do 3 times 3. 3, 6, 9. I use that 3 song that I know, so that's 9. And then my 2 zeros, I am bringing both of them down. So I'm going to have 2 zeros here. So 30 times 30 is 900. And then down here, 2 times 30, I can do the same tactic. I can forget about the 0 for a minute, and I can do 2 times 3. And I know that 2 times 3 is 6. Well, I don't have 2 zeros. I only have 1. So 2 times 30 is 60. So now you're like, Ms. Sharp, I've done so much work. We're not done yet. We are going to now take these 4 numbers here in these 4 boxes and add them all up together to give us our total of 32 times 31 and our area of this rectangle here. So 900 plus 30 plus 60. See how I'm lining up the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. These numbers don't have any. And 2, this is 2 ones, so it gets lined up with the ones. Then I add it up. Well, this is 2. I add up my tens, 9, and I add up my hundreds, 9. So this is the area of this rectangle, 992. Okay, now I know that was a lot, but use this strategy and this tactic to help you with your perimeter and area activity for this week. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any point in time.